worst places to visit in the world. There's a lot of videos of places you should visit, not too many of what you shouldn't visit. And that's what this video is about. I'm gonna jump right into it. Pretty much you'll find on a lot of lists, one of the places that you should not bother to visit is Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta has a lot of problems. There are some nice things to see there, obviously, as with every city, but Atlanta also has a lot of problems, as I said before. Mainly, traffic. I once had to go around Atlanta, not even into Atlanta, and pretty much anytime you get in the general vicinity of the city, you're going to be stuck sitting in traffic for 4 hours, bumper to bumper, the most unpleasant experience, stressful experience of your life. So, I mean, just the process of trying to get into Atlanta, you'll already be in a bad mood, unless you fly in there. But besides that, also pretty bad crime rate in most places in Atlanta. And again, there are some nice areas, obviously, some things to see. But in general, a lot of people have a not so great of a time visiting Atlanta. It's just kind of a struggle just to even get there. And once you do get there, it's still going to be super crowded, still going to be a lot of traffic. There's crime there, there's just there are other places to go that you'll be able to enjoy yourself better, besides Atlanta, Georgia. Now, besides that particular city, if you're, say, traveling abroad, another example of someplace you should probably not bother going is Acapulco, Mexico. This used to be a very, very popular tourist spot, very beautiful area on the beach, very scenic, great for summer. Don't go there because in recent years, it has been kind of taken over by the cartel, basically. It has become extremely dangerous, even for tourists, which is surprising because usually tourist hotspots are left alone by crime organizations and gangs. Not Acapulco. That has also, often tourists have been attacked, they've even been caught in shootouts, some have been injured. It's not a great place to be anymore, unfortunately, because it is a very beautiful place, but just unfortunately, gang-related activities, especially relating to drugs, have really infiltrated that place. So it's not really a great place to go anymore. If you're thinking about a nice Mexican vacation, it's probably best to choose another area and not Acapulco. Now, another place outside of the United States that you should probably avoid is Casablanca, Morocco. So Casablanca, I always think of the movie Casablanca from the 40s, but modern time Casablanca is not really the most spectacular place to see in Morocco. It's not even the crime rate this time, even though it is on the higher side. It's really just the fact that it's not very scenic. There are some nice, obviously there's some sights to see, but in comparison to other areas of Morocco, say if you're going to Morocco, it's kind of just best to skip over Casablanca and focus on one of the other more scenic cities, because Casablanca has mainly become more industrial, more polluted, more crowded, and more of just a compact, stressful area. So it's not really the best place to go if you want to really admire kind of the older Moroccan architecture, because a lot of the buildings in Casablanca are very modern, kind of plain, not really that much to see. And also other areas of Morocco, they're more historical, they're just more scenic in general compared to Casablanca, and also less polluted, less crowded, that sort of thing. So it's something to keep in mind, if you plan on going to Morocco or just in that area. Probably stay clear of Casablanca and go somewhere a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. Now, another area that is very beautiful, but not that great to visit, is Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, which, like I said, a beautiful, beautiful place, but the crime makes it not so great of a place to go. Crime rates have been really on the rise, mainly drug-related crimes and violent crimes in recent years. And of course there are some tourist hotspots that are a bit on the safer side, But if you really want to try and explore the city, there is, a really good chance of various crimes, petty theft, violent crime, whatever. So not exactly the safest place to go, especially for Americans. Really, if you want to go to the city, you'll have to be on high alert, on the safe side. And in general, it is a pretty crowded area, especially during peak travel season. And it gets really, really hot, so it can be kind of unpleasant, especially if you go during the summer. So, there are safer places to go, just so you don't have to worry so much about your safety when you're just trying to have a nice vacation and a nice visit. Now, another very nice area, which unfortunately has been kind of ravaged by crime, is Cape Town, South Africa. This place is known for beautiful beaches, beautiful, rock formations, surfing, sunsets, very picturesque place. Except for the crime, there is a ton of gang-related crime, which makes it a very, very dangerous place, just for anyone, visitors, locals, tourists, So, again, if you want to relax on your vacation and not worry about something horrible happening to you, probably best to stay clear of Cape Town unless you're very familiar with the area, very familiar with, the most dangerous spots and maybe the safer spots. But in general, Cape Town is known to be a pretty dangerous place for its gang-related crimes, which is unfortunate because, again, it is a very attractive location, but again, with the crime issue. And one other location which does not have a crime problem, really, it's just a weather problem, which is Death Valley in California of the United States. So, Death Valley is pretty much one of the hottest places on Earth. And again, the main thing, it's not so much it's one of the worst places to go, it's just that it's kind of difficult to enjoy yourself there, particularly during the summer. Death Valley, it has its name for a reason. It's a desert, it's extremely hot. Do not go in the summer, because you will just be miserable. It can easily get to 120 or hotter degrees Fahrenheit, and the sun will scorch you, you'll be sweating, not even air conditioning will be able to help you that much. And it's a pretty big park, I believe it's a national park, and trying to hike or explore during that heat is just very unpleasant and can be quite dangerous if you're not prepared. In terms of heat stroke and things like that. If you're going to visit Death Valley, it would be ideal to do so not in summer, the winter, the spring, the autumn. When the temperatures start to cool down a little bit, then it will actually be a nice area to visit because you can admire the nature without just being scorched half to death. But other than that, Death Valley is actually a pretty picturesque place to see, especially in terms of deserts. Just don't go in the summer because you'll just have a bad time. But that is pretty much my list of worst places to go in the world to visit. So hopefully you found this video helpful, and if you did, of course, leave a like and maybe subscribe, and I make a few videos throughout the week, so stick around for those.